Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Become clear or enter one's consciousness or emotions. It dawned on him that she had betrayed him. The first light of day. We got up before dawn. The earliest period. The dawn of civilization. An opening time period. It was the dawn of the Roman Empire. Appear or develop. The age of computers had dawned. Become light. It started to dawn, and we had to get up. Move or strike with a noise. He clicked on the light. A stop consonant made by the suction of air into the mouth, as in Bantu. Depression of a button on a computer mouse. A click on the right button, for example. Become clear or enter one's consciousness or emotions. Cuz to make a snapping sound. Make a clicking or ticking sound. A hinged catch that fits into a notch of a ratchet to move a wheel forward or prevent it from moving backward. Click repeatedly or uncontrollably. A short light metallic sound. Make a clucking sounds, characteristic of hens. Produce a click. Kosa speakers click. Become clear or enter one's consciousness or emotions. Become clear or enter one's consciousness or emotions. Become clear or enter one's consciousness or emotions. Travel across or pass over. Communicate successfully. I couldn't get across the message. Finish a task completely. Become clear or enter one's consciousness or emotions. Succeed in reaching a real or abstract destination after overcoming problems. Be in or establish communication with. Spend or pass, as with boredom or in a pleasant manner, of time. Enter a group or organization in order to spy on the members. Become clear or enter one's consciousness or emotions. She was penetrated with sorrow. Spread or diffuse through. Music penetrated the entire building. Pass into or through, often by overcoming resistance. The bullet penetrated her chest. Come to understand. Insert the penis into the vagina or anus of. Did the molester penetrate the child? Make one's way deeper into or through. The hikers did not manage to penetrate the dense forest. Become clear or enter one's consciousness or emotions. Pass through. The first light of day. An atmospheric phenomenon consisting of bands of light caused by charged solar particles following the Earth's magnetic lines of force. Roman mythology, goddess of the dawn, counterpart of Greek Eos. The first light of day. 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 The time period between dawn and noon. I spent the morning running errands. The first light of day. They talked until morning. A conventional expression of greeting or farewell. The earliest period. The morning of the world. The first light of day. Atmospheric phenomena accompanying the daily appearance of the sun. Of an industry or technology, new and developing. High technology sunrise industries. The daily event of the sun rising above the horizon. The first light of day. Clock time. Clock time. The hour is getting late. Distance measured by the time taken to cover it. We live an hour from the airport. A period of time equal to 1/24 of a day. The job will take more than an hour. A special and memorable period. It was their finest hour. Get off the ground. Who started this company? Bulge outward. The time at which something is supposed to begin. They got an early start. Begin work or acting in a certain capacity, office or job. Start a new job. Get going or set in motion. We simply could not start the engine. A line indicating the location of the start of a race or a game. Have a beginning, in a temporal, spatial, or evaluative sense. Prices for these homes start at $250,000. A signal to begin, as in a race. The starting signal was a green light. Bring into being. A turn to be a starter, in a game at the beginning. He got his start because one of the regular pitchers was in the hospital. Set in motion, cause to start. The U.S. started a war in the Middle East. Take the first step or steps in carrying out an action. Who will start? Begin an event that is implied and limited by the nature or inherent function of the direct object. She started the soup while it was still hot. A sudden involuntary movement. He awoke with a start. Begin or set in motion. I start at 8 in the morning. Have a beginning characterized in some specified way. Leave. Move or jump suddenly, as if in surprise or alarm. She startled when I walked into the room. The advantage gained by beginning early, as in a race. With an hour's start he will be hard to catch. The act of starting something. Play in the starting lineup. The beginning of anything. It was off to a good start. An amount of time. A time period of 30 years. An amount of time. A time period of 30 years. The monthly discharge of blood from the uterus of non-pregnant women from puberty to menopause. A unit of geological time during which a system of rocks formed. Ganoid fishes swarmed during the earlier geological periods. A punctuation mark, placed at the end of a declarative sentence to indicate a full stop or after abbreviations. In England they call a period a stop. Ice hockey, one of 3 divisions into which play is divided in hockey games. The end or completion of something. Death put a period to his endeavors. The interval taken to complete one cycle of a regularly repeating phenomenon. An amount of time. Hastened the period of time of his recovery. Have a beginning, in a temporal, spatial, or evaluative sense. The DMZ begins right over the hill. Set in motion, cause to start. Begin a new chapter in your life. Take the first step or steps in carrying out an action. Begin an event that is implied and limited by the nature or inherent function of the direct object. Begin a cigar. Have a beginning characterized in some specified way. The novel begins with a murder. Israeli statesman, born in Russia, who, as Prime Minister of Israel, negotiated a peace treaty with Anwar Sadat, then the President of Egypt, 1913 to 1992. Achieve or accomplish in the least degree, usually used in the negative. This economic measure doesn't even begin to deal with the problem of inflation. Begin to speak or say. Begin to speak, understand, read, and write a language. Be the first item or point, constitute the beginning or start, come first in a series. The number 1 begins the sequence. Have a beginning, of a temporal event. The company's Asia tour begins next month. Lay aside, abandon, or leave for another. The car changed lanes. Cause to change, make different, cause a transformation. The discussion has changed my thinking about the issue. Exchange or replace with another, usually of the same kind or category. He changed his name. An event that occurs when something passes from one state or phase to another. The change was intended to increase sales. Become different in some particular way, without permanently losing one's or its former characteristics or essence. Her mood changes in accordance with the weather. Give to, and receive from, one another. Would you change places with me? Become deeper in tone. His voice began to change when he was 12 years old. Change from one vehicle or transportation line to another. She changed in Chicago on her way to the East Coast. A difference that is usually pleasant. It is a refreshing change to meet a woman mechanic. A different or fresh set of clothes. She brought a change in her overnight bag. A relational difference between states, especially between states before and after some event. He attributed the change to their marriage. A thing that is different. He inspected several changes before selecting one. Change clothes. Put on different clothes. Coins of small denomination regarded collectively. He had a pocketful of change. Money received in return for its equivalent in a larger denomination or a different currency. He got change for a 20 and used it to pay the taxi driver. Remove or replace the coverings of. Father had to learn how to change the baby. The action of changing something. The change of government had no impact on the economy. The balance of money received when the amount you tender is greater than the amount due. I paid with a 20 and pocketed the change. The result of alteration or modification. There were marked changes in the lining of the lungs. Undergo a change. Become different in essence, losing one's or its original nature. She changed completely as she grew older.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.